Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this finds you, ladies and gentlemen from Ingram. I'm John Maxwell from Dell Technologies, and I would be remiss if first and foremost I didn't say I hope that everyone is in good health and whoever is listening to this call is able to stay healthy and wearing their masks and getting through this COVID challenge that we have. We're on the introduction slide for the editors. They're helping me out with this footage. Unfortunately, we can't do it live, but I understand Ingram has gotten their sales force and pre-sales force together to have a virtual event and kick off this second half of the year. So I'm happy to be here with you. I'm representing Dell, as I said. For those of you that don't know me, I run the storage platforms and solutions pre-sales division for Dell Technologies for all of North America. And today, what I'm here to talk to you about is PowerStore. So the mid-range market is super exciting for us at Dell. We're absolutely excited about the new PowerStore mid-range array that we've just come out with. And I'm going to share some information with you about that and a little bit of what we're seeing in the market, right? Because it's been out there now for, 6 months or so. It's been in development for over 2 years. And, I really think we've got something here that's solid, that's competitive, and that can be a lot of fun for you. I know that Ingram has their own PowerStore seed unit. And so some of the folks on this call might have already had an experience with it or have had their hands on, have probably seen some of the marketing materials. So this is a little bit about what we're going to do in the next 15 minutes. I'd like to just give you a refresher on mid-range redefined, what we're doing, the how and why we win, and then maybe handle a little bit of objections. I'll try and give you some real-world stories, some of the examples that we're seeing out there. We've had some really good velocity with this product. So, for example, over $1.5 billion of pipeline we're seeing, Dell Technologies. Of that pipeline, we're starting to execute on it globally. So we have over 260 units out there already on customers' floors, and we have them in all theaters of the globe. So think Americas, think EMEA, think APJ, Greater China, Latin America. It's in all of those theaters. And so we're pretty happy with the velocity. We want to continue that velocity, and we'll have some asks for you at the end of this presentation, okay? Real quick, just so you understand where we're coming from, and I think probably Ingram, you understand even better than we do. I wish this was interactive and I could get some give and take, but given the situation, I'm not going to be able to. So what I will tell you though, I'd love your take on it, and maybe you can discuss it amongst yourselves. It's a huge market. The mid-range market represents an $18 billion opportunity of the entire $28 billion market, if you think about external storage as a $28 billion market for us. So Dell Technologies is very excited about going after this market. As you know, if you have had experience with EMC or Dell in the past, we've had arrays in the mid-range market. Certainly the Compellents or the Unities of the world certainly are out there currently as an install base. But what we're so excited about this year is we have built from the ground up a mid-range competitive offering called PowerStore. And so if you haven't heard about it, it comes in many flavors. There's a PowerStore 1000, a 3000, those are at the lower end. The 5000 and 7000, you start to get into heavy memory and a lot of data, and to the 9000, which can handle the most workloads, has the most CPU, the most memory, and handles probably the biggest variety of workloads. So from a 1000 to a 9000, we have a lot of models. We have quite a bit going on in the PowerStore. So why are we so pumped about it? What is it about it? I grew up in the David Letterman era. So for those of you who don't know who David Letterman is, it was Late Night with Letterman. So he was the late night talk show host when I was growing up, and I would tune into him every night at 11 and check out his show. On David Letterman's show, he always had a section about the top 10 somethings, and it was usually something pretty funny. So this is my late night top 10, and it's serious. This is the top 10 reasons. I try and keep it super simple for partners and for customers. Why PowerStore? Here's my top 10. Okay, so number one, we are redefining mid-range. We built it from the ground up. No one's done that with a mid-range array in years. So we're going to be the next gen technology. Okay, in the mid-range, we have a true scale up and scale out array in PowerStore. This is something we've never had before. So a true scale up and scale out It is something that I think makes us very competitive in the market. I think you're going to like the way we do it through the networking piece of it. I encourage you to take a look at that in the lab with your own seed units. We've seen superior performance in the mid-range with PowerStore. So many of our partners and our customers and third party have run testing against our competitors in the mid-range. I'm not going to name any competitors today because I think that's not the way to go about a session like this. We've done very well against our competitors when it comes to performance. We've done very well against our competitors when it comes to our DRR, so data deduplication, and anything we're doing to drive efficiencies in the array. What we've seen from our install base thus far is a 4-to-1 data dedupe rate, which really makes us competitive when you're sizing and pricing out a PowerStore. Remember that, 4-to-1. We're seeing better than 4-to-1 in over 260 installs that exist out there in the Americas. This is super exciting for us because it's only going to get better, and I'll tell you why that is in just a minute. We built the PowerStore operating system from the ground up on a container-based operating system in a tick-tock environment. So this is software that you're going to be able to see updates come fast and furious on. We're going to be able to add advanced feature and function to it, and our DRR engine is only going to get better and more efficient. So the efficiencies and the performance and the drive on this thing is just going to go through the roof. So we're very excited about it. The way that we built it from the ground up is something that's it's a container-based architecture. It's a huge differentiator for us. Now, the other nice thing about it is if we come up with new hardware and you want that new hardware, we have an anytime upgrade program in place for all of our customers. So anytime upgrades, we made it super simple. Recently, we heard some feedback from the field and we made some changes. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But anytime upgrade, you can upgrade the hardware anytime you want within the contract. You don't have to renew the contract. It's just a fantastic deal to stay on top of the technologies, new technologies that come out there from hardware, and certainly new technologies from software. So the last three here on my list, on my top 10, are super fun. We've got the AI built in, the machine learning built in. I think what you're going to find if you do some storage provisioning or run in our demo center, run some hands-on labs, you'll see this is an intelligent machine. PowerStore will find out when you've got hot items, hot LUNs or hot storage groups. It'll make recommendations and then it'll go ahead and move it to another appliance if that's what's necessary, or another group if necessary, and it will do it automatically for you. Some other super cool pieces of machine learning and AI that's built in. This is a machine that will recognize other storage arrays, and it will go ahead, do the discovery, and ingest those arrays in, making any kind of event where you have to do migrations super easy, super automated. So that's really fun. I think as I get to the last of my top 10 that I like to talk about, for years we've heard from our customers that they wanted to see if we could really take advantage of VMware and the EMC storage components and the Dell supply chain come together and make something new and exciting and innovative. And that's what PowerStore is. We have the ability to run your VM workloads on the storage array, the PowerStore storage array. Okay, so more on that in a minute. This is my top 10, this is why I'm excited. Real quick, I'll run you through what we call our 3x3. Our 3x3, listen, we talk about PowerStore in three different ways. It's data-centric, it's intelligent, and it's adaptable. So let's just hit on a few of these real quick. Data-centric is any workload, anytime. Look, PowerStore is truly a unified array where you can run file, you can run straight block, you can run containerized environments on it, you can run whatever the next generation is on it. So very, very good for probably 80% of your workloads out there for our customers. Okay? Now, secondly, we talked a little bit about performance and efficiencies. It's very intelligent. This is a programmable operating system, PowerStore is. So what I would ask you to do, you have a PowerStore, or if you don't have access to it and you have access to the demo, go ahead, check this thing out online, and you're going to find that this is a highly intelligent machine where you've got policy-based provisioning, you're provisioning LUNs and storage very quickly, very easily. And as I mentioned earlier, if there are hotspots, PowerStore will find them and move your hotspots into a location that's much cooler. All right, so it's data-centric, it's intelligent, and finally it's adaptable. This is the most adaptable and flexible mid-range architecture in the market. It's fantastic. You can scale up and scale out, as we mentioned. Combine that with the anytime upgrade program, and you're always staying on top of your workloads. You're always getting the maximum efficiency and the maximum performance out of it with this mid-range offering. There is no one else in the market, we believe, that can compete with PowerStore. So that's real quick, our 3x3. You can see the visual there. I'm going to flip to the next slide just to give you an advantage. I really wanted you to see a picture of the scale up and scale out. This is a very cool technology that we're doing. So while PowerStore certainly from a host perspective is going to be, it could be a fiber channel attach, it could be iSCSI attach, it could be any kind of attach, but there certainly is that fiber component of it for many of our customers. But PowerStore appliances on the back end are talking, conversing, spreading the load as you scale out over the Ethernet. So it's really cool. Each PowerStore appliance is going to require some top of rack ports and some top of rack communication that's kept completely offline from the actual host to storage path. But I think that you'll find it really cool. It's how we're coupling the appliances and creating clusters of appliances. Okay, so we use the words appliance and cluster. There's of course the base enclosure, which comes with your, it comes straight out of the Power Edge factory basically, but your base enclosure that has 25 disks with it, and then you can build on expansions with 3 more disk units. So that's how you scale up, you scale out as you add appliances to your cluster. Okay, I hope that was clear. I hope the picture helps you out with that. That was just quickly to help you with any time or with scaling up and scaling out. What I now would like to discuss with you is just a little about the Anytime program. Again, just want to put emphasis on this every time I talk to a customer. If you want to go from generation 1 to generation 2, or if you're going from one model to the next, we can do that for you. We do it data in place, and it's part of the Anytime program. So sign up for the Anytime program. We've made it super simple. I think you're going to like it. Real quick, as a refresher to those folks who don't, maybe haven't seen the training yet, or they've taken it, it's been a while, there's a .T model and there's a .X model. .T model is straight storage. We expect really a lot of mid-range refresh and opportunity with the .T model. We expect that to be very popular. The .X model, that's where you get the actual apps on. So I mentioned it earlier, we're actually able to run VMs on top of the PowerStore unit, which is super exciting. We're very happy about that. You're also running it as a storage unit. For those of you engineers out there who might be taking a look at something like this, straight, super simple, cut the CPUs in half, cut the memory in half, use half of it for the PowerStore, use the other half for your VMware workload. Typically where we see this is on the edge. Think not so many VMs, but very storage heavy. This would probably be a very good model for you. If you've got lots and lots of VMs and maybe not as much storage, you might want to pivot and go somewhere else. Okay? Now, real quick, I just did want to mention, because we see this more and more now, the interface out into Kubernetes, into Ansible, the different plugins, the REST APIs, all of that's being provided. As you know, it's going to be really sharp with PowerStore because we are a container-based operating system, so it makes us easy to make these offerings out there to the field for our customers. So we have those out there as well. So just a reminder, that's how we talk about it. That's the refresher. Remember, go on the offense with PowerStore. It's got it's scale up, scale out. It's any workload, anytime upgrades, apps on. Those are the differentiators against our competitors. This is the only slide where I'll call out some of the competitors. This is an example of how we compare. I know that these competitors might be in speaking to as well today, so I don't want to say anything bad. I just will tell you, I think PowerStore is very competitive. I think you will see that too. My final slide for you today really is just about positioning PowerStore. As I said, this is the new mid-range offering from Dell Technologies. It is ready for prime time. We pitch it center. PowerStore is the lead for everything for us. If you need to pivot, that's why it's so nice to have a large platform, right? We're able to pivot up and go upscale with PowerMax. We're able to pivot down and go downscale with Unity if that's what you want. If you want to go left or right into Converge or Hyper-Converge, we have these great offerings, VxRail and PowerFlex, all from the Power line. So please take advantage of the positioning, position PowerStore, lead with it, and know with our portfolio and technology, you can pivot almost in any direction with your customer. So that's it. That's basically what I had for you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for the business and the partnership. Happy to be in front of you folks. Don't hesitate to call. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.